We crashed our own pep rally. Senior year of high school, we had a pep rally for all the fall sports going into their postseason events. What was cool about our school, yes, CovCath, I know everybody hates CovCath, but the faculty let us be really involved in student events. The seniors got to pick all the posters that we hung up in school, pick themes for the cheering section, and we got to run the pep rallies. What made that so fun is you get all the inside jokes that the student body know about faculty members or different people in your school or beefs you've had with other schools. Just all the stuff that's gone on throughout the school year or with those sports teams you can reference, which was perfect for me and my buddies on the cross country team because the cross country seniors weren't known for anything related to cross country or running in general. We were known as the kids that would go mess with the star players of other schools' teams before games. And if we lost games to them, they would come to us and we would go prank or mess with these kids' houses after games. If they were talking shit or whoever was talking shit, we'd go mess with their house. We were literally like the godfathers of pranking at our school. You know, we'd have kids from different teams come to us and say, "Can you do this before the game?" Or this kid was talking shit, "Can you go hit his house after the game?" Literally the godfather, like, "Oh, you come to me during my study hall," type of type of shit. All the senior class knew about it. It started to spread to all the other grades. So by the time we were seniors, we were known for just pranking houses. Since the seniors were in charge of the pep rally, we're like, we got to incorporate that in there somehow. So me, Griff, Beef, 7-5, we were helping set up stuff for the pep rally, trying to think of something we were going to do. But our cross country coach at the time absolutely despised us. He hated us. He comes to us like 2 days before the pep rally, and he's like, "I only want varsity runners in the pep rally since they're the only ones participating in the postseason races." And I immediately just remember, because he told us after practice one day, I immediately just remember in my head, I was like, fuck that. Because what you got to understand is, I think anyone who's ever played sports or been on certain teams will know this. There's certain guys who they might not be the most talented player on the team, they might not be a huge contributor to the sport itself, but as far as like keeping the team camaraderie together and making practice a vibe and keeping everybody in a good mood, you know, the people that you want to be around and spend time with, that was Griff, Beef, and 7-5. Like, by the time we were seniors, they were the guys that all the team gravitated towards because they were hilarious, funny-ass dudes that were always doing crazy shit. Those were the guys that were keeping our spirits up. I'm telling you right now, they're the only reason I ran cross-country for 4 years, and I was on varsity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't have made it through my 4 years of running with our douchebag coach if it wasn't for those three guys. Our coach, every year, he had a golden boy. Every year, he picked a senior who was a golden boy. It was like the best varsity runner, and he made him captain, and everyone had to kiss his ass, that type of shit. And luckily for us, we were friends with the golden boy. I make it very clear. I'm not talking shit about the golden boy that was on our team. I'm telling you that because they wanted our whole section of the pep rally about cross country to be themed around this kid, which is fine. But we're kind of like folklore. We're kind of like folktale legends because of the pranks we're doing outside of the sport. So let's give these guys their roses. Like, they deserve it, man. Like, they're the heart and soul of the team as far as I'm concerned. And our coach had treated these guys, Beef, Griff, and 7-5, had been treated like shit for 3 or 4 years of running with our coach, had treated them like shit. I've told you the stories about Beef, but like Griff and 7-5 a couple years were borderline varsity runners. They could have been alternates to go on to state and shit, but our coach purposely didn't pick them after their times proved that they were one of the top 3 guys that could be brought up to the varsity team for the last 2 weeks of the school year. So there were just little things like that that had happened over and over again. They had just been fucked over and treated really shitty by our coach for 3 years. So in my head, the pep rally was like their opportunity to finally get some recognition for something. You know what I'm saying? I went to the teacher who was in charge of our spirit club. I'm like, "Hey, this is what our coach said. I think that's really crappy. Like, is there a way we can do something about it?" He's like, "Yeah, I got you." So obviously cross country goes first for the pep rally because get them done and over with. No one really cares about cross country. And we weren't the worst fall sport, but like our soccer team, pretty much we knew was going to win state. Our football team was kind of ass, but they were like around 500. And then it was us who, I don't even think we were state contenders. I think we got like 5th at state my senior year. I didn't even want to run the last 2 races of the year. I was just so done with the sport. They have this whole thing. We're going to run out of the tunnel, and our golden boy, it's a whole song is going to be centered around our golden boy, and our varsity guys are going to come out and jog around the fucking gym because the pep rallies are in the gymnasium. And it's like, yeah, that's fine, but like, it's not funny. It's not what we're actually about. The day the pep rally comes, the varsity team's out there. We're in our warm-up jackets, and we're just standing with our coach. It's the 7 varsity runners. Even though there's like 30-something guys on the cross-country team. Right when we're about to go into the gym, they've got the whole student body in there. All the lights are out. Our varsity guys think we're just going to jog out. Well, I open the side door of our gym. Griff, Beef, and 7-5 come in. They have toilet paper, face paint. They're in headbands, arm sleeves, and they're in their cross country uniforms. And I was scared. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared shitless, but I was like, this is for my boys. Like, they deserve this. Fuck my coach. I don't care how much trouble I get in. I turn around and I'll never forget, I was scared shitless. Our coach is like, what's going on? They're not supposed to be in the pep rally. And I'm like, they're our intro. And I like kind of shielded my coach from stopping them. And they went run out of the gym. Most legendary thing I've ever seen. They go running out to the song Jump Around by House of Pain. If you haven't heard it, Culture Yourself. It's one of the greatest throwback songs ever. So they run out with a bunch of toilet paper, and they're whipping rolls of toilet paper out into the crowd. So I'm dying laughing because they're pelting our student body with toilet paper. And obviously we're all guys, so they're just getting rowdy. Like, the guys absolutely love it because they know that we're the guys that go prank people and mess with houses all the time. They were running out like strobe lights and shit. They got to hype the crowd up. So it was the most fitting intro for us. And then we came out and did our thing. During our cross-country section, we gave a quick speech to the crowd. Well, I was team captain. I should have never been a team captain. I'm openly willing to admit that. Even my coach at one point brought me out. I remember it was like one of the first practices of the summer I senior year, and he was like, Thomas, you've been a behavior issue for me all 3 years. You're super immature. I just don't have, basically said he didn't have any better options because he always did 2 team captains. He was going to do 1 team captain because of our senior class. Oh my God. So I get the mic. I don't even know like what the fuck I'm gonna say. Like, I don't even want to run myself. So what am I supposed to say when I get the mic, right? So the golden boy gives like a little speech about cross country and hands me the mic. No joke, in front of our whole student body, I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, you guys really, you don't have to come. It'd be cool if you did because our state race was on the way to the first round of the soccer state tournament. So I was like, you could stop on the way to the soccer game. We're only going to be out there for like 20 minutes unless somebody falls. It'd be cool if you guys were there. And then I handed the mic back. I remember our coach was so fucking pissed about the whole thing. And it was so awesome because I was like, I got 2 weeks of practice left. I could give a shit about cross country anyway. So when we were running our practice there, our coach started to kind of rip us. But like I said, luckily the golden boy, who, again, just using that as a nickname, not bashing him at all, he was a bro and he was on our, he was a good friend of ours as well. So he was like, Tom and them deserve that. Like, it was no big deal. Coach, it was a good intro or whatever. And he ended up not ripping my ass quite as much. But it was so fucking funny. So funny, man. I'll never forget that. And, a lot of people I know get worried about being stuck in high school or not moving on from the past. And what I would say about that is it's funny that people say that stuff because, like, for me, I don't feel like I have any regrets or anything that I dwell on from high school. To me, spending time with Beef, Griff, and 7-5, those were my 3 best friends. Like, I spent time with them because when I was with them, I felt like I was making the most of my 4 years of high school. Like, every time I was with those 3 guys, they were doing something that had me in tears. Like, my stomach hurt. I was laughing so hard. I mean, they were just like 3 of the best friends that I'm so thankful that I got cut from or that we all got cut or hurt in other sports and ended up on the cross country team because I wouldn't have had such genuine friends if it wasn't for that. We really were, our high school career really was just us gooning with the boys. And I look back on it and I'm thankful for it because, like I said, I know this is probably going to sound kind of corny, but I really do feel like telling stories is just something that this is my purpose. When I look back on my life events, I should either be dead, in jail, or have a rap sheet longer than the damn Declaration of Independence. You know what I'm saying? So for me to be sitting here telling you these stories like, oh, it was all a good fun, it was a good life lesson, like, to me, that really means something. And I wouldn't have hardly any stories from high school if it wasn't for those 3 guys. And the reason I'll say this about all my friends and family, the only reason I don't use their real names and I use nicknames or generic first names is because I want to be on here and I have no problem, risking my reputation to make this content. Whereas while those guys are my great friends and I do think they're some of the funniest, most legendary individuals I've ever had, I've ever met, they have career paths that are different than mine. So until they want to come on here themselves and say who they are and own all the stuff that they've done, I'm not going to say their real names. So there'll always be Griff, Beef, and 7-5 unless they decide to come on here and name themselves. You know what I'm saying? So, and I used to get upset about that stuff, but you got to understand is like everybody's walking a different path. Everybody's coming from a different perspective and everyone has different goals and dreams with their life. So like, just because I love being on here and telling stories about my friends and family doesn't necessarily mean that my friends and family want to be on here talking about all the stupid shit they did growing up. So I have no problem relaying all those messages for sure. And Beef Griff 75, I don't see you guys much these days, but freaking love you guys. If you ever need anything from me, I'll give you the freaking shirt off my back. I really I appreciate the shit out of you guys, and I hope for everybody, whether it's high school, college, or if you don't even give a shit about school, if it's work, like I hope for everybody out there that you get to find a couple genuine friends that you just connect with, man, because it's a real brotherhood, that bond, I guess you could say, with somebody. That shit means something, and that to me is what makes life kind of worth living. Those three, I've got a few friends like this, but those three in particular, like I want those guys to be the friends that are coming over to meet my kids, and I'm like, this is your uncle so and so. You know what I'm saying? Not like in a pedophile way, but I want those guys to be like, my family friends that my kids are growing up with their kids, like that type of stuff. Like that shit really means something to me, and they'll be in my wedding. I'm already in a couple of their weddings. I'm the late bloomer of the group. But as much as we hated our coach, I am thankful that we had a coach that we did, because of our beefs with him, it made us so much tighter as a group of friends, and that camaraderie is something that carried over to be lifelong, genuine friendships. Outside of trying to sell a couple movie scripts that I have based off all these stories, I really hope that any high school or college age, any younger person out there, if you're watching this, like, just figure out who your genuine friends are, the people who are really there to support you, the people that are in your corner, the people that have your back no matter what, because I really don't think I would even be alive and breathing if it wasn't for those type of friends that I've had over the course of my life. So I know that's a little dramatic, but it really is the truth. I all my friends and family out there who support me and are there for me, I appreciate the shit out of you guys, and I really hope for everybody out there that you get to have at least one person that supports you the way that my friends and family, I'm super thankful for them. And also everyone else, just so you know, I know a lot of people have sent me in stories the last couple, it's been probably about a year now, started getting people sending me in stories, hey, will you tell this? I have no problem doing that. I'm still burning through a lot of my own content, and I get a lot of messages, so I will do my best to start sharing some of those stories, and if you guys want to be tagged or not, make sure you let me know. But to all the people out there who follow me, keep sending your stories. I promise you I'll get to them eventually. I try to get through every message and comment out there, but, it gets busy at times. So with all that being said, I'm here. We're grinding. I appreciate everyone who's been following and subscribing. I mean, I'm a kid from freaking Crittenden, Kentucky, so the fact that I'm where I am, I'm pretty thankful for. So I appreciate all you guys out there, and hope everyone's doing well, and we'll be back soon. Talk some time. Taking shots by the lake till I can't even breathe no more, see no more. I was riding around town thinking to myself, is it gonna get easier? I'll be up and away up the street and bake, but I can't even breathe no more. What's it to me? What can I see? Taking shots by the lake till I can't even breathe no more, see no more. Mic check, mic check, mic check, and we're good.